Hey guys, so I just wanted to film a quick January wrap-up / February to be read pile video. In January, I actually only read 5 books, which is like an all-time low for me. I don't remember the last time I've only read 5 books in a month, but that is for a few reasons. One of them being that over Christmas break, I started watching The Vampire Diaries and developed a bit of an addiction, and I kind of stopped wanting to do anything but watch The Vampire Diaries, so it's really bad, but the show is very good. You should watch it. I'm on the 3rd season. It's the best. Another one of the reasons is school has been stressing me out, and I've had a lot of homework and tests and all of this stuff that I don't want to have to deal with, and it's been getting in the way of my reading time. And then also, I've just been in a bit of a reading slump, which sucks, because obviously you don't want to be in a reading slump, but I think I just got out of it, so I'm good. The first book I read in January is The Sea of Monsters, which is the 2nd book in the Percy Jackson series, and I also read the 3rd one, The Titan's Curse. I actually was trying to make it my goal to read the entire Percy Jackson series over Christmas break, because I had like a week and a half, and you know, there are 5 books in the series. No big deal, right? But then Vampire Diaries and Life and a lot of other books, like really shiny new sequels to books that I've been like waiting for a really long time, they came along, and so Percy Jackson kind of got bumped. But, you know, I really love the series so far. Next book I read was Just One Day by Gail Forman, which I absolutely loved. I just have so many feelings. This book broke my heart, but it was so beautiful anyway. Probably gonna be one of my favorite books of 2013. Easily, yes. The next book I read in January was Harkin by Caleb Nation, which I read on my Kindle, because it was only available on Kindle. If you have a Kindle, by the way, this is $2.99, so you should go buy it because it's super cheap and it's a really good book, and I loved it. This is a supernatural conspiracy theory. Need I say more? The last book I read in January was Unravel Me by Tahira Mafi. Oh my god. I don't have it right now because I lent it to Megan, and because like as soon as I read it, I'm like passing it to all of my friends, like, you have to read this immediately, because it's a sequel to Shatter Me, which I was obsessed with when I read it way back when it first came out, and the sequel is amazing. If you like Shatter Me, you will love Unravel Me. Like, I'm pretty sure. Also, chapter 62. Chapter 62. When you read the book, you will understand. Come back to me, we'll discuss chapter 62. So those are all the books I read in January. February, I think is going to be a lot better. I have a huge stack of books that I'm going to try to read, and it's crazy. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read all of them, but I am going to try. So the first book I'm going to read this month is Pivot Point by Casey West, and actually I already started this. I'm quite far in it, actually. I'm almost done with it. By the time I upload this video, I will most likely have finished it already. But as of right now, this far into the book, I absolutely love it. I'm going to try to read Pride and Prejudice this month. And as you can see, I started it. Got that far, but I started it in the summer, I'm pretty sure, a really long time ago, and I liked what I read of it. I thought it was really good, but it's a classic, so it's kind of slow, and I just put it down so I could read something new and exciting in YA, and I guess I never picked it back up. But because of the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, which I'd been watching, even though I hadn't read the book, don't judge me, but I had gotten to like the point where you meet Darcy, and I was like, you know what, no, I have to read the book first. I can't just watch this without reading the book. So it's been killing me to see everyone's like reactions to all the Lizzie Bennet Diaries episodes, and so I need to read this month, hopefully. I'm going to try. Another book I'm going to try to read this month is Mila 2.0, or possibly Mila 2.0. Like Mila Kunis, that person. They have the same name, and she actually kind of looks like her. Or maybe I'm crazy, I don't know. It sounds really cool, and I've heard some good things, and the cover is like awesome. So yes, I'm very excited. This comes out in March. So I want to read it this month before it actually comes out. One of the books I'm most excited to read this month is The Elite by Kira Cass. Oh my gosh. This is the sequel to The Selection, which I'm sure everyone has heard of because it became this like huge controversial book. Like you either loved it or hated it. And for me, I loved it. I'm very excited to read the sequel because the first one cut off really like abruptly. It was just like, oh, end of book one. And I was like, where is the next one? And now it's here, and I'm very, very excited to read it. And the cover is so pretty. We have Through the Evernight by Veronica Rossi. This is the sequel to Under the Never Sky, which I absolutely loved, and actually went to a signing and I met Veronica Rossi and it was awesome, and I can't wait to read this one. Another sequel that I'm going to read this month is Boundless by Cynthia Hand. Holy crap! I'm so excited. Oh my god. Boundless is the third book in the Unearthly series. I've been waiting forever to read this. I'm just so excited to read this one. Another sequel, woot! The Crown of Embers by Ray Carson. This is the sequel to The Girl of Fire and Thorns, which I absolutely loved. And this book came out a few months ago, and I got it like right when it came out, and I was like, okay, BRB, I'm going to drop everything to read this book. And then I didn't. And the reason I didn't was because I read The Girl of Fire and Thorns quite a while ago, and I could not really remember how it ended. I was like, okay, so I'm going to read the first book before I read the second one. But then I never got around to rereading the first one, and so I never read this, and that makes me sad. So I was just like, you know what, screw this. I'm just going to go ahead and read the sequel without rereading the first one and hope for the best. Two more books that I'm going to read are, what are they called? The Battle of the Labyrinth and The Last Olympian, which are books 4 and 5 of the Percy Jackson series, aka the last two. I said I was going to read this series a while ago and I didn't, so I'm going to finish it this month. I am. There are no excuses. I must finish it. I must. Yes, I have to. I love these covers, by the way. They're so pretty. Can all covers be like this? The next two books that I'm going to read this month, or at least I'm going to try to read this month, because these are a lot of books, is Prodigy by Marie Lu and Perfect Scoundrels by Allie Carter, which are the sequels to Legend and the third book in the High Society. Yeah, that's what it's called. And I actually don't have them with me because Perfect Scoundrels has not yet been released at the time that I'm recording this, so I pre-ordered it, but I also pre-ordered Prodigy with it at the same time from Barnes & Noble. I don't like ordering from Barnes & Noble, but I had a gift card, so, you know, I did. And Barnes & Noble was like, oh, well, we're not going to send you Prodigy until Perfect Scoundrels is released. So that is kind of annoying, but whatever, I'll get them in a few days. And yes, more sequels! The last book I'm going to try to read this month is Just Listen by Sarah Dessen. For those of you who don't know, Sarah Dessen is my favorite author in the entire world. I'm obsessed with her. And like I met her, I went to a book signing, and you know, got signed, which was very exciting. And so the blog, I Eat Words, they're having a Sarah Dessen reread challenge thing in 2013. I will put a link in the doobly-doo for my post that I did about the challenge if you want to go look at it and join it, because that would be cool. But basically, every month in 2013, everyone participating is going to read a Sarah Dessen book, and we're all going to talk about it at the end of the month, and it's going to be very exciting. So the book for February is Just Listen, and those are a lot of books I just showed you that I'm going to try to read this month, so I don't know if I'm actually going to get to them all. So I may not actually reread this in February, but I will probably still like chat with everyone about it, because like to be honest, I've probably read this book like 10 times. It's one of my favorite Sarah Dessen books, so I remember it perfectly and everything, and but I would obviously love to reread it, just maybe not in February. So those are all of the books I have to show you. So thank you for watching.